Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Rebecca. I do YouTube videos based on lifestyle, skincare, hair care, pretty much all things beauty mixed with a little bit of fashion sprinkled on there. I have made YouTube videos before, but I took a very long break and I am back. And today I'm going to be talking about the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Sunscreen. This is my second bottle, and I thought with summer now here in Canada, I thought what a better time than to talk about sunscreen. Although we should be wearing sunscreen all year round, in the winter as well, UVs actually are reflecting more on the white snow that we have here. So actually you can get pretty sunburned even if it's winter. But I know most people who maybe need a little bit of extra reminders to wear sunscreen usually think of putting sunscreen on in the summertime. So I thought what a better time than to talk about sunscreen now. So I actually have learned to love this sunscreen, and it has taken me a little bit of time. In the beginning, I had to learn how to use this sunscreen properly, and I have read mixed reviews on the internet about this sunscreen. I've heard people say that it is super greasy on the skin, or it pills on the skin as well. And Hazel, don't eat the flowers. Come on, Hazel. Come on. And some people say that it feels dry on the skin, and other people absolutely love it and feel like this is their holy grail sunscreen. I wasn't a huge fan at first, but after learning how to use this sunscreen properly, I have become a big fan. Well, according to the Sephora website, it says that the Glow Recipe Sunscreen is a gentle sunscreen that hydrates and gives skin a visible glow while evening the appearance of skin tone over time with niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, and aloe vera. Those are the three main ingredients. The niacinamide that visibly reduces the look of dark spots, pores, and dullness, which dark spots can be created from too much sun exposure without protection. Hyaluronic acid, which helps reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. And aloe, which is rich in antioxidants, enzymes, vitamin A and C and E, which is soothing and hydrates the skin. And everyone knows that also for aftercare, after sunburns, usually people put aloe vera to like soothe the skin. So that makes a lot of sense. And it's really good that it would be in here. The smell, it has a very yummy smell. It has a very light watermelon type of smell, but nothing too strong at all. So if you are very like sensitive to scents, you should be okay with this because the smell disappears. But also if you have very sensitive skin, I probably wouldn't recommend this if you are very sensitive to fragrance, because there is a slight fragrance to this sunscreen. This sunscreen is a very light formula. It goes nicely onto the skin. For me personally, it does not feel heavy. They actually say that this is a hybrid sunscreen, which is a chemical sunscreen mixed in with a mineral sunscreen. So it's a combination of both. And what I love the most of this sunscreen is that it's SPF 50. So a lot of sunscreens out there that sit nicely under makeup, which I'm gonna get to, usually is like an SPF 30. This also coming with a mineral sunscreen, I think that it sits really nicely under makeup and right onto the skin. I actually wore this on my wedding day, and I was outside all day long because it was an outdoor wedding, and I did not get sunburned on my face at all, but I did miss my chest, unfortunately, and I did burn my chest. So, but to say that this burned my face, to say that this protected my face 100%, fully secure in the protection of my face with this SPF 50. So personally on my skin, as you will see on the clip, it goes on really nicely. It does leave a nice dewy look onto my skin, but personally it does not feel heavy or greasy. So my skin type is drier in the winter. It gets very dry, and very oily in the summertime. So for me, the reason why I say I didn't like this at first is because I tried this in the winter. It was like the middle of winter, and I have drier skin, and I was also using a retinol, a prescriptive retinol. So my skin was on the drier side. So when I put this on, even though it leaves you that dewy look, personally for me, for my skin type being drier in the winter, I felt like it was a little bit more mattifying. Perhaps because of the mineral side of things for the sunscreen, I felt like it was a little bit too dry. So with everything going on with the dryness of the winter and the retinol, it just wasn't for me in the beginning, I felt. So I stopped using it for a while. As the warmer weather started approaching and I started reusing this again, I felt like it sat so nicely on my makeup. My dryness was already gone because my skin was getting more and more used to the retinol, and the drier, colder months were leaving. And I felt like it would sit really nice under my makeup. But the thing that I hear a lot, and it is true because I can testify, is that it does pill. So this is a sunscreen that you would not use if you have like a really good regimen going on in the morning and you use a lot of serums and different moisturizers. I would not recommend putting the sunscreen on top of that because it will pill like really bad. As you will see on the clip, I was pilling like crazy when I put on my Surge Clinique moisturizer on my skin. This does not work, and once you get the foundation going on your face or whatever you put on your makeup, it will pill. But I have used, like I said, I did use this for my wedding day. So on my wedding day, I did chemically exfoliated my skin, and then right away went on to this. And with the amazing ingredients that it has in it, with the niacinamide and everything, it's sort of like an all-in-one sunscreen. And I feel like this is perfect for people that are on the go and they keep their skincare very basic in the mornings. And I am definitely someone who like has more of like an intense regimen at night. That's when I do most of my skincare, like in the evening, so that by the time I'm in bed and then the rest of the night, my skin is absorbing all of the products that my skin has on top. But usually I like to just splash my face with cold water in the morning, and lately just putting on this sunscreen. Here and there, I might do like a morning mask or something. And if I'm not going out anyways, usually I work from home, so I just put the sunscreen on and I'm okay. But if I do want to put a moisturizer on before the sunscreen, I usually have to wait quite a bit of time. If I combine both of them close together, it will pill right away. I also did not feel any burning with the sunscreen. I know some people have a burning sensation. I personally don't, and I have pretty sensitive eyes. I always have stuff going on with my eyes, and I did not feel like this was burning me at all. I have put sunscreen on and then shortly after have worked out, because we have a lot of windows here in our house. So I have put sunscreen on and worked out, and even with sweat, I have not felt that this has gone like into my eyes and burned my eyes a lot. But obviously I would try to be careful not to put sunscreen like super close to your eyes, because if you do get it in your eyeball, it would probably burn a lot. But yeah, you will see on the clips that I first put it on right after the shower, and it was very dewy and nice. Then maybe about like 5 minutes, well, by the time I was putting some product into my hair after the shower, it was nice. It sat really nice. It wasn't super overly greasy like some other sunscreens. And I also did not experience any white cast. At first, it might look like there's some white cast onto your skin when you put it on there. At first it might look like you have some white cast when you're putting it on, but as you rub it more into your skin, the white cast disappears. So I don't know. I know it depends on all skin tones, but if you sort of can gauge based on my skin tone, I was not left with any white cast. I think what helps is that even though it is a mineral sunscreen, which those tend to be heavier on the skin and leave a white cast, it does have that mixture of the chemical sunscreen in there too, which I think helps with that heaviness and that white cast that a lot of people experience with the mineral sunscreen. Definitely think the sunscreen is worth it. I definitely think the sunscreen is worth it if you are a person that's usually on the go, if you don't really have a regimen in the morning, if you're newer to wearing sunscreen, if you're newer to a skincare routine and you just want like an all-in-one. I think this is perfect. I definitely think this is perfect under makeup, or if you spend a long time outside, or definitely for like beach days, I would wear this. If I have a day where like I want to have like a more intense regimen in the morning and I know I'm not going to be outside a lot and I do want to put like a moisturizer with another sunscreen, I would use like a different sunscreen or an SPF 30 if I'm going to be mostly inside. Because I have a lot of windows at my house, and anytime that I'm outside, this is what I reach for so that I can feel super confident that I have as much sunscreen on my face as I should. I use the 2-finger rule where I put sunscreen that covers both my fingers, and that is usually enough. And then about 2 to 3 fingers on my chest area. The only thing I would wish that they did was a bigger version of this sunscreen for your whole body. Thing that I wish Glow Recipe did, which maybe they will be doing that in the nearest future. This sunscreen is not, in my opinion, for people with sensitive skin because it does have that fragrance in it. So I would say if you are very, very sensitive to fragrance, I would stay away from this sunscreen. Even though it is not a strongly fragrant sunscreen, if you have very sensitive skin, I would stay away from this sunscreen. And this is also not a sunscreen for someone that has a very particular intensive regimen in the morning and their regimen is perfectly already made for them and they just don't want to mess things up. Then I would also stay away from this because this is a pain to mix with other moisturizers. I have tried this with several different types of moisturizers and it just does not really work very well. It does immediately start pilling, and then if you add makeup on top of it, it probably will not work. But like I said, I did use this pretty much on bare skin. I just cleansed my skin, did a chemical exfoliant, and then I kept it pretty basic because I didn't want my skin to have any reactions, and put this on my wedding day and my makeup sat flawlessly all day long. So if you put it on bare skin, this sunscreen is perfect, and then anything can go on top of it. Just, it seems like nothing can go really under it. Overall, I do 100% think this sunscreen is worth it for me. I like it, and I would probably be purchasing my 3rd bottle. And I like all of the ingredients that come in it, the aloe, the hyaluronic, and all the other ingredients that's in it, the niacinamide. And Glow Recipe also has niacinamide drops, dew drops, that I also really loved. So yeah, it's all mixed in this sunscreen already, and I really love this sunscreen. So that's my review. Comment down below if you have ever tried this sunscreen before, or if you have a different sunscreen that's also a high SPF, or just a favorite sunscreen in general. I would love to see the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Bye.